So what's up people? It's been a while since I did a video for you guys, and today I have something very exciting for everyone. And today I want us to talk about personal finance. And whatever we are going to talk about today is very interesting because most of you or most of us might be victims on what I want us to talk about. So essentially, today I want us to talk about debts, loans, madeni, however you may want to call it. And we are not talking about debts that you've borrowed from financial institutions like the banks or those mobile banking platforms. I'm talking about debts that you have borrowed or that you have given out to friends, families, and relatives with a promise that they are going to give you back, or with a promise that you're going to pay them back. But today I want to concentrate mostly on debts that you've given out and not the debts that you've borrowed. I want to talk about debts that you've given out because I'm a victim of defaults, defaulters, friends who become defaulters. Because by the mere fact that someone would come to you to borrow money from you, it means, number one, it means that they understand that you value the friendship, okay, the friendship between you and them. And by the fact that you're going to lend them money, it also means that you value the friendship. But now, this friendship kind of thing starts to have problems after you've given out money and this money is not paid back, and whoever is not paying back is not a stranger to you. It's someone that, Mesaidiana is a good friend, a close friend, and sometimes it becomes frustrating. See, the thing is, we all have financial constraints at some point, right? But we all make efforts to make sure that we are feeding, we are dressing nicely. If it's rent, you're paying your rent. If it's your car, you're fueling. If it's your insurance, you're paying. But when it comes to paying other people's debts, that's where you draw the line. It is so unfortunate, because it's all about priorities. And I'm saying this because we're talking of debts that have, overstayed. Personally, I've suffered bad debts that amounts to millions, not 2 million plus. And these debts are money that I gave out to friends. And I'm not talking debts that I gave last month or the beginning of this year or last year but one. I'm talking of debts I gave out in 2018, 2019, and some in 2020. But up to now, they haven't been paid. Well, there are people who make effort and they would pay in installments, which is good, which is okay, because it means, well, they might be having financial constraints, but they are trying at least. But someone who is not even committing anything, is not reaching out to you, to tell you, I know I have your debt, but I'm going through this and this at the moment, so just give me some more time. Just being courteous and explain yourself. You are human beings and you are bound to understand anytime someone is going through financial constraints. And especially in times like these, we know everyone, or almost everyone, is not well off. you know, as much as the economy is concerned, the inflation, the bills and everything, you know. So it's understandable not to have money at some point, but it's not understandable for you to go silent. You know, I don't know whether you decided you're never going to pay the money. I don't know what you decided. You know, probably you decided, well, this dude has made so much money, or this dude has so much money, and I have so much in my basket, so I'm not going to pay him back. And that means you no longer value the friendship that you guys had before you came to borrow the money, which is very unfortunate, you know. Now I want you guys to reason with me and tell me, maybe in the comments below, what is the best way to request money from a friend that that borrowed money from you, and this money has overstayed, and this guy is not making any effort to pay back your money, you know. Because sometimes it's kind of, I take it like negligence, or you know, disrespect. Because if someone had the guts to come and borrow you money, where did the energy go to come and tell you, you know what, I'm currently going through 1, 2, 3 and I'm not able to pay, but once my things works out well, I'm going to make sure that I pay. And you see, the thing is, even if you borrow, let's say 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, it's not a must that you're supposed to pay this amount in lump sum. In the first place, you came to borrow the money because you didn't have any, okay? And I supported you because I wanted the best out of you, and I wanted to see you probably achieving your goals. But you see, the mistake that most people do, and this is why most people are actually unable to pay their debt, it's because people end up borrowing money for reasons that don't make sense. You know, you're borrowing money to go and party. How then are you expecting to be able to pay this money back? If you're not borrowing money to go and invest in an opportunity, then high chances are you're not gonna be able to pay this money. So something that I've come to learn or to realize is, if you want to keep your friends, then don't give them money. It's that simple. If you want to keep your friendship, don't give out money. Well, I still have some few friends that we borrow money, we borrow each other money, and if you have such people in your circle, then those are some of the best friends that you need to keep. But someone who is borrowing money from you but never pays, personally, I feel burdened when I know I owe someone money. And by the way, if you're out there and by any chance you know that I owe you money, I just want you to comment down below and tell me how much I owe you and when you lend me the money, and I'm going to pay you ASAP. Because I don't keep debts, and I don't like having debts, because I understand that you also have bills to pay, you have needs. You see, we don't give out money to friends because we don't need this money, right? We give this money because we want to help this friend. Otherwise, I would have just decided to go for a vacation, or probably to get myself a very nice suit, right? Or even a pair of shoes, depending on how much money you're lending, you know. But you know, not being able to pay is okay, but not communicating is not, you know. So the thing is, if you're going to lend money to your friends, you should, number one, do what the banks do. You see, the banks will not just lend you money just because you need it. Number one, they will need to check your credit history, you know. They'll need to check your transactions. They'll need to see how much balance are you always having in your account. And by so doing, then they are able to gauge if you can be in a position to pay back their money. Now, the same should apply when you're giving money to friends, you know. Now, I wish there was a system that could allow when friends are borrowing and lending money to each other, like P2P borrowing and lending, there can be a platform that, you know, brings or that binds the two transactions, that Hakut is lending so and so this amount of money, and they've agreed he's going to pay, and then there's like an agreement, you know, that is generated between the two of you, and this agreement can actually be presented to CRB, or it can be presented to the court, you know, if this person defaults. Because I'm very sure I'm not the only person who is suffering from this, giving people money and never paying you back. So if you're going to lend your friends money, you should have some few things in your mind. Number one, yes, you might get your money back. That is number one, and that is everyone's expectation. And number two, you might never get your money back, and you might lose the friendship. That is number two. And number three, at some point you might be forced to even write off those debts, because you cannot keep asking for your money every now and then, every week, every month, every year. Sometimes you get tired and you just decide, well, I'm just going to write off this debt, but I've learned my lesson the hard way. However, there's some measures that you can put before you actually give out money to friends, and this will be very, very helpful. Number one, don't just lend money out just because your friends need it. If he does, I think it's courteous to ask, why do you need the money? In as much as it's private, well, if you need money for a private thing, then my money and my finances are private. And if they are, and you need my money, then I should, I have every reason, if I'm going to give you my money, then I have every reason to know what you're going to do with this money, right? And if you're taking this money to go and do a wedding, then I'm not giving you my money. Or if you're taking this money to go and party, or to go for a vacation, or to go for a rave, then I'm not giving you my money. But if you're taking this money to go and invest, that can be considered, you know. And what kind of investment are you going to do? Because by asking such questions, I might be having an idea about whatever venture you're entering into, and I might give you 1 or 2 points that might even help you to be able to even boost the idea, you know. So you can always ask, what is the money for? Why do you need the money? You know. Number two, just like the banks do, you know, most of the times when you're borrowing money from the banks, and like unless you're taking these quick mobile loans, if you're taking some lump sum amount of money, they will ask, why do you need this money? Is it a house that you want to pay for? Is it to service another loan? Or is it for a business? You know, is it for building? You know, so it's always good to ask, why are you borrowing this money? Then number two, always, and this is a must, have an agreement between you and your friend, however much you trust this friend. Why am I saying this? Because most of the bad debts that I've suffered personally are actually from very close friends, very, very close friends, friends that you could not imagine that at some point they will end up not paying you or not paying your money back. So always have an agreement between the two of you. Have it in writing that on this date I've lent or I've given out 100,000 to so and so at no interest, and he's going to give my money back by the end of next month. So that if by next month this guy doesn't come back to you with something, or with the money, or with a reason why he's not paying the money, then you have every right to take a legal action against it, because it's your money, you know. And this is money that can actually help you to set off some bills, you know, or to even do another project that can even give you more money, right? So it's always good to have it in writing. If not so, if you have a lawyer and someone is looking to borrow some lump sum amount of money and you're willing to help them, You know, we have people with good heart and they are always willing to help them. But it's always good. Remember, this is a risk. You're giving out this money to someone who needs the money because he doesn't have it. Okay? So you are actually trying to like jumpstart him or her, hoping that whatever thing he's going to do with this money is going to help him come back on his feet. But there are chances that he might not, you know, depending on whatever venture he's going into or whatever reason he's borrowing money for. So it's very, very important to have that written down. And also, if you're out there and you are now on the other side of borrowing money and you owe some of your friends money, manze, it's just courteous to reach out to them, tell them, you know what, my things are not working right now, but I still understand that I have your money, and once my things works out, I'm going to pay you your money. But you see, if you just go and keep quiet, a month goes, 2 months, 3 months, a whole year goes, you're not doing any communication in as much as the debt is concerned, then it means you are actually not a true friend. You are actually a pretender, you know, or you are actually a hypocrite. And that is so wrong, you know, because it means you no longer value this friendship, you know. To be honest, like I said, I still have few friends that I would borrow money from and I would lend money to, but not as many. They are actually not more than 3, you know. And one of them is actually my wife. We can always lend and borrow money from each other because that remains in the family. Then I have, of course, some other 2 guys who are not related to me, but they are close friends to me, you know. But as far as that circle extends, no, I'm not giving out my money again because I've really suffered a lot of bad debts. It's only that I don't want to show you the names and the amounts, but you will be surprised how much money I've actually lost by thinking I was helping a friend to come back on his feet, you know. And the thing is, there are friends who actually came back on their feet, and actually most of them did. But in as much as they did, I don't know whether they neglected the loan or they forgot about it or it's just being disrespectful, because you'll find people, their life is going on very well. If they want to go for a vacation, they would go comfortably for a whole week, you know. If they want to party, they will party like none of your business, you know. And if they want to buy whatever gadget they want, or they want to do whatever thing they want, you can tell that they have the money. So by the mere fact that they're not committing to paying you back, even if it's something small, then I don't know what to call that, you know. It's, you know, it's being hypocrite, it's being disrespectful, and it's not right. So guys, if you are out there and you know that you owe a very close friend some money, please make an effort. Reach out to that guy, tell him, you know what, I know I owe you some money and I'm trying my best to pay. And if you have money, please start doing so. Start making the payments and try to maintain this friendship. You see, friendship is very expensive. And why am I saying this? Money come and go, you know, and opportunities come and go. But remember, however much money you can have, at one point you will need people. Let's take, for example, you're doing a wedding. You'll definitely have friends, or you'll definitely need friends who will come, who you will need them to come and attend your wedding. You know, if it's probably, let's say, you're grieving, you know, then you definitely need some friends to come and support you, you know. So you cannot live without people. And let money not be an obstacle or not be something that will separate you from the people that you value the most. So guys, if you know that you owe someone some money out there, just do your due diligence and make an effort to pay them back. And for the people who lend money out, please just make sure that you put into consideration what we've talked about. Make sure you're not just lending money to someone because he or she is your friend, you know. Have a written agreement, get to know, why are you borrowing money? What is the purpose of this money that you're borrowing from me? You know, so that you're able to gauge whether you're likely to get your money back or not. Otherwise, you will end up losing your money, and I don't want you to go through what I've gone through by helping the so-called friends. Okay, so that's it for today. I hope you guys have learned something out of that, and I hope that you're going to put that into practice. And with that said, do have yourself a very, very good day, and bye bye.